You are listening to Power Stance Gamers Podcast, the best place for quality tabletop banter. With your hosts, Jacob, Greg, and Muddy.
G'day everyone, Jacob Corney here from Power Stance Gaming. Hope you're doing well this evening. With me, as usual, I got my two co-hosts, Mr. David Muddyman.
Hey boys.
And Mr. Greg Millsap. How you doing?
Hey listeners.
So, this seems like a really quick turnaround. It's only been 2 weeks since we last recorded. It's after that 5-week holiday we had.
I know.
It feels like we're just straight back into it.
Fresh.
Oh, fresh as a daisy.
Full of quality content.
Loving it and very excited for tonight. Can't wait to get into the review.
Absolutely. Before we do, though, we'll just mention a few little things going on in the PSG world. First of all, we have a bit of an update on our event. So we needed to, for reasons out of our control, change the date. So the new date will be 1 week earlier, November the 11th. So it's still Saturday night, still from about 5 p.m. onwards.
Oh, I'd say so.
And it's still at the Brendale Brewing Company at Brendale.
They
But
have beer, right?
they brew beer.
Yeah.
They've got 10 beers, Muddy.
10
They've
types
got
of...
10 beers.
Are they lagers?
There's a range from lagers to ales.
Oh,
and
wow.
a stout.
Stout's pretty good.
And
Yep.
cocktails?
Not too sure about that.
Yeah,
They would.
for you, Muddy. I'm
They
sure
will.
you could sweet talk
I'm
your way
sure
into a
some
strawberry
lovely
daiquiri.
barmaid will sort me out.
So, yeah, we'll be there from about 5 p.m. onwards. There will be, we've been told, a food truck there with some delicious eats. And that's Rolls Pho Me, Vietnamese cuisine. So,
And there's more?
we'll play games. I guess that was the other
We're
thing.
going to play games in a brewery with beer.
And Vietnamese food.
Nowhere.
Yeah, and this all costs you the sweet sum of nothing to attend.
What?
No.
Free.
There's got to be a catch.
Nothing is free these days. Come on.
What's the catch?
What's the catch?
You got to spend an evening with Muddy and Greg.
Oh, yeah. I could
Yeah.
see how that would be pretty
Yeah.
painful.
Yep. So yeah, we are pretty darn keen. Let's be quite honest here. It's very exciting for us.
It's a night out.
It's a night out,
It's a
yeah.
night out that'll go down in history books.
We need one.
I just hope my wife doesn't find out about it and want to come along. So
Well, my missus has given it the seal of approval already,
Technically-
so we're good to go.
Technically, listeners, it's a gaming night. So if you want to tell your loved ones, your better halves,
Yeah.
alternatively, bring them along.
yeah, bring them
Whatever
along.
works.
That's fine. More the merrier. There is one final detail that we want to add. If you are a backer on Patreon, if you're one of our patrons, and we thank the people that already are, and we'll shout out at the end of the show to our patrons, you are up for a little special treat if you come along that night.
Ooh, sounds
So, no reveal just yet. We want to build the anticipation, but yep. So our backers on Patreon, whether it's $1, whether it's $5, whether it's $10, everyone, all of our backers that come along, get a little special bonus for us showing our support. I guess our thanks.
And we gotta say also, big shout out and big thanks to the Patreon supporters, because it does cost money, the show, and we're doing this out of the love for doing it, and it's a great help. It really does help us. So thanks heaps, guys.
Yep.
Just thanks for listening.
Yeah, generally.
I can't believe people actually want to listen to
I know.
It still does blow my mind sometimes that people are downloading
I
it.
know.
Yeah. Not that it's not quality.
I do download half of them myself, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
You putting the numbers on the board? for
Yeah,
us?
yeah. I don't download it on every device in the house.
That's the way.
That's it.
Get the kids listening.
Gotta get the numbers up. Oh, we're up against Dan TDM.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's
I'm
unbelievable,
sick of listening to him,
Oh.
Oh, he's got 10 million subscribers.
Man, if someone wanted to pay me to play
know.
video games, and what? Has he got pugs? Is that the catch there?
He's got some dogs. Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
You should see what the guy.
I want to rant
You
in a
should see the
minute.
games he plays. He plays like rocking chair grandpa things and stuff like. You just like, what?
I don't even know what games it. So do you watch him?
Well, it's pretty hard not to because I'm walking past the TV and there is his freaking ugly mug on my TV.
You got on the TV?
Yeah, because I just watch it on the Xbox or whatever. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
can you do that? How's
Yeah,
Xbox?
YouTube app.
Really?
I'll sort you out.
Jesus, Greg. Sorry.
Did not know that.
Hashtag.
I thought
You on the Twitters yet, bro?
I thought all the Xbox did was play games.
No, it's got apps. I'm not good at it, but yeah, I know that. I figured out the YouTube
I
one.
think you got more.
Just go home
Yeah.
and plug your iPad into it, and you'll feel the
No,
joy.
I can't do
Yeah,
that. Remember?
yeah.
Doesn't work.
You tried.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've beat around the bush long enough. What are we up to tonight? What are we reviewing? What's the
We're
game?
going back to the old school, bro.
Old school.
That's it. Last week we talked about the golden age of gaming. We decided we wanted to throw back to what was perhaps
This
our
is-
golden age.
This is the golden age, right?
I don't think it gets much better.
Well, actually, if you classify golden age as in the most games you played in a week, this has got to be up there, right?
Talk about putting numbers on the board.
I'd like.
Get those star player points!
Oh God! Quick! Tell me. Oh, it's not fair. You didn't tell me how many games you played this week. Cheater!
We are, of course, referring to the Games Workshop Classic. And if
Classic.
there was ever a definition game of classic, it is this game. And that is, gentlemen,
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. You know when Bane says, you merely adopted the darkness, I was born into it? Yeah, that's how I feel about Blood Bowl.
Jesus.
That's when
You get deep, man.
people go, oh, have you played Blood Bowl on the Xbox? I'm like, oh, seriously,
Yeah.
have I
Yeah.
played it on the Xbox?
I was on the table before you were even a bat.
Thank you. That's so good. So, Greg, you've got the details for us.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
that's far west. So, did you know Blood Bowl's been around for 31 years?
Oh, you've got to be joking.
First edition came out in 1986. Second, quickly followed.
So did my wife, by the way. Oh wait, no.
Hey, now, what?
I meant that the game is as old as my wife. That's not when she
I
revealed
thought
to the
you-
world that
right,
she is
it's come
same-sex
out.
attracted.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, honestly, if my wife said, "Hey, let's edit,"
Every phone, every iPad has
So
a
far
video.
for change, you're winning the edit.
yeah,
It's-
it's tonight. I am. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Why is that an edit?
Just in case.
She's not going to listen.
Yeah.
Quickly followed 2 years later in 1988 with surprise, surprise, second edition. And then 1994 became third edition. Then we've had a massive break from 94 to 2016 until we had obviously the most recent copy. It's a game for 2 players. It's produced by Games Workshop. Recommended playing time is anywhere between 45 to 2 hours.
2 hours. You never played with Brad
I
then.
was about to say 45 minutes to about 6 hours.
I once played a game that took 6 hours. I was driving back from Q&K headquarters at Caboolture at 1 in the morning and picked up my first speeding ticket, surprise, in my life after a 6-hour game.
Can I just say, I just think it's amazing that was his first speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Yep. First
Yeah.
and only, touch wood, speeding ticket.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Again, that's
How many have you had?
a few. And that was before I got the
And you
Toyota.
drive so conservatively
I've had
compared, like,
I've had 3. I think 3.
3.
Yeah.
And the reason, I'm not going to get into it, but anyway.
I think I got one the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you get a
Surprising you
flash?
knew.
It
up?
was a flash.
Oh,
Yeah, you're done.
And I know. Never mind.
Oh, well.
So, recommended age is 12 plus. Designer was Jervis Johnson.
JJ.
JJ.
The man.
Old JJ himself. Complexity on BoardGameGeek.com give it a 3.14 out of 5.
For complexity.
Complexity.
Yeah, I'd cop that.
Yeah.
Because it's layered.
It's-
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The game is set in an alternative old world, and for those newbies that are just come to Age of Sigmar,
Warhammer.
yep, the old world was the setting for Warhammer, with the orcs, goblins, as we know them,
Yep.
back then, and dwarves, and I don't know what the new names are called now, but they are what they are, I guess. Bretonnians.
Yep.
Camry, to name but a few.
Mm.
And mechanisms for playing the game involve dice rolling, grid movement, and variable player powers.
Yep.
And that last one is probably the most interesting, I would say. The variable player powers, and we'll get into that when I go through a review.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So how much for the latest edition Blood Bowl, Greg? If I was going to sink some coin into it, what's the recommended retail on that?
If you're popping down a G-Dub, it'll sting you a nice 165.
Okay. What if I was a cagey kind of guy who knew,
Where to shop.
where to shop?
If you shop around, you could probably get it for 132, was it? 100,
Yeah.
roughly.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. That's not too bad.
Our friends in Emerald will sort you out.
Yeah. Well.
Everyone has to have a dealer somewhere.
That's right. And the starter set comes with humans and orcs. And I have to say, the miniatures are stunning.
Yeah, the minis are awesome because these are the new sculpts now. So yeah, really good.
Yeah. I mean, the
The other ones were good too.
the third edition humans
Yeah.
stood the test of time for quite a while.
But you got to
Definitely.
admit the new models are looking pretty good. I know some people are umming and ahhing about. We'll get into it later, but with some of the Forge World whatnots here and there, but by and large, they're pretty good.
Yeah, look, it's G-Dub, man. It's,
Quality.
Quality,
Uh,
plastic, miniatures.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so jumping straight into it, the first thing we usually talk about in a review is aesthetics. What's the aesthetic of Blood Bowl?
Well,
How would you describe it to
It's
someone that's
footy.
never seen it before?
it's football. It's gridiron. It's American football set in Warhammer Fantasy.
Hang on a second. It's football with spikes.
Yeah, you die.
You gotta have the spikes.
Yep.
So aesthetically, it's not like you're going to have some epic board setup, but that said, you can create some pretty damn good custom pictures. I know I had a very basic one made up for mine at my place, but if you go to a lot of the Blood Bowl tournaments and whatnot, the guys go, full retard on some of these. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
go full retard.
All right, cool. Full retard on their custom pictures, and like to the point where they almost, they need to wheel them in. They get so big.
Yeah.
Guys in the stands and the whole, all the little food outlets and whatnot.
Yeah.
All set up. So
We invested as a club in some
we got
Q&K
those,
BBL boards for our Blood Bowl, Queensland Northern Knights Blood Bowl League.
and
So
that was specifically made for us when we went to tournaments too, because
Yep.
they were a jigsaw puzzle.
Yep.
Essentially, and they were probably 6 pieces.
6 pieces, yeah.
6 pieces. You just literally, they separated. You popped them in your bag. No dramas. Off you went. Off to
Yeah, we'll
your
put some
local
photos up for sure.
Yeah, that'd
We've
be brilliant.
actually played a couple of games this week, so
Yep.
we'll just to get ourselves back into the swing of Blood Bowl.
Bit
So
of old school goodness.
it's been so good. So yeah, we'll put some photos of our games. You'll be able to see the pictures there.
should put a bit of Run DMC over this track.
That's how old school it is.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should play a game and show how my dwarves just steamrolled your human team back, just like the old days.
I don't remember that at all.
There's nothing like getting.
Oh, it's funny how
I
he
think-
remembers when he beats me.
I think you think about that still to this day.
I do.
Probably
It
cry.
pisses me off.
Yeah, probably cry yourself.
Perfect plan. Just don't roll double one.
Do you know what I always liked about the Blood Bowl aesthetic is that sometimes Warhammer took itself quite a bit seriously
Yeah.
in the late 90s, early 2000s sort of stage. But Blood Bowl was always quite the opposite. It was always very self-aware, and it was always taking the piss of stuff. And I really like that. Like, for instance, the whole fluff behind the game, right, is that some dwarf in the middle of a battle finds a rulebook, an NFL rulebook.
It's dwarfs and goblins, right? And orcs and greenskins
Yeah.
fighting, and they need a break
Yeah.
from this battle. And a dwarf, I actually thought it was a greenskin go wandering off and find some chamber or something somewhere, and they find some old book.
Yeah.
And they need the dwarf. I thought they needed a dwarf to come over and try and read this thing.
Yeah.
And it was
It's the rules
the
of
rules.
NFL, or as they call it, it's the tome of Nuffle.
Yeah.
And so Nuffle becomes this god of Blood Bowl,
Yep.
basically. And they base their game Blood Bowl off the rules of NFL, but obviously with the Warhammer twist.
Yep.
and it's a little bit more deadly. But
And instead of finishing the battle, they decide they'll sort out this disagreement by having a game, and I think they kill someone's squig or something like that, or pig or whatever, and they create a ball, and off they go, and that's how it all starts.
And it's brilliant. I mean, and that sets the tone for the whole sort of universe. It's just that slightly quirky take, because it is an alternate Warhammer world. It's not the Warhammer world.
That's right.
Yeah, you've got to make that distinction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the idea that yes, Skaven are playing a game versus Dark Elves, and that's everyone's cool with it, is kind of the thing. But the other thing is all the puns in it. Like they have instead of football, their Blood Bowl being on cable, it's on Cabal as the Wizards Cabal Vision, that sort of stuff. And it's little things like that. And all the star players have pun names, like instead of Brett Favre, it's Brick Farth, and like that sort of stuff. So, it does already set itself up to being quite a light-hearted take on the universe. And that carries through to with the visuals, that the miniatures and some of the artwork in particular can be a bit cartoony.
Yeah, definitely.
And you get all those little stories all the way through the rule book of like famous games where like 50,000 halflings got slaughtered by some Norse giants and things like that, which adds a bit of flavour to it all.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's one of the things that kept me in it for so long, is just the feel of it was just light-hearted, where we'd have our serious games of fantasy that got quite serious, and then we'd just chuck around some Blood Bowl. It was nice and easy going.
As far as the miniatures go, Blood Bowl, because it went into a holding pattern, with the fans took it up whenever G-Dub dropped it as part of the specialist range in 20, I'm not too sure the specific date, but probably 2010ish, I would guess. It just the fans looked after the rules, and then with that you got a lot of independent manufacturers out there came up with their miniatures, which were an absolute scream. So they would take the tried and tested aesthetics and make them more comical and make them more fun. So it took them into that sort of real, comical era.
Yeah, I've got to say that a lot of the independent companies are the ones that actually, in my mind, drove the game to a better spot in the end. Because as age progressed and Games Workshop kind of just left the miniatures as was, these other companies stepped up and really produced miniatures that were a bit more modern. And so, in a way, they probably helped drive the game because people were interested in the miniatures as well and were buying new teams, which probably kept people playing the game for a little bit longer. And I don't know what the tournament scene's like now because we've been out of it for a few years. But back when we were playing, there were some big tournaments, considering it's a system that wasn't being supported.
Back in, and I've got the tokens here, back in 2011, which was our first Uke Bowl, there was 80 plus coaches at that tournament, and that was probably towards its height as a specialist game or non-specialist game. I'm not too sure what it's at now, but
that's
the fact it's a non-supported G-Dub game, it was just purely internet-based, and 80
and
coaches.
80 coaches.
Which
is ridiculous.
That's what I was about to, I wonder what sort of numbers they're getting now. Like last week we spoke about, clubs struggling, tournament systems, player counts are down at tournaments. I'll be interested to see how Blood Bowl's going with its numbers as well.
Especially after the new release.
Well. Yeah.
Especially after the new release.
Yep.
Well, I actually did a little bit of research.
Ooh, bit of internet sneaky peeky reasons.
I know. It's pretty impressive that this year in 2017, have a guess how many players they had.
Ooh. This is Uke Bowl.
Uke Bowl.
So Uke Bowl is the premier Australian event. If you're going to play a Blood Bowl and you want to rock up the tournament, Uke Bowl is it. Based in Berwick, baby. RSL.
Berwick.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to hedge and best go 50.
50?
I was going to say 56.
Muddy's he's done the research, obviously.
Did you have a sneaky peek? It's only because I said 50. If I hadn't said 50, you would have gone.
No, 56 jumped in my head.
55. 55 players for a tournament.
I think you said you had got to be under, don't you?
He was under. Oh no, he was over.
He was over.
Oh, Price is Right rules, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was never told this is Price is Right rules. That's purely subjective. That's really good.
That's
Yeah,
all.
55. I mean, and think about it, honestly, like, what other tournaments are getting 55 players
At the moment.
at the moment? And correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh no, well I suppose hang
None?
on. If we took the premier events, like King's War got 60-ish or plus at
Yeah, fair
CanCon.
call.
Yeah.
Infinity got 60-ish,
Yep.
maybe 50, 55 or something, but
Yeah.
certainly up there.
But let's just put that in perspective here.
Yeah.
This is a system that realistically has had
Well, it's only
no love.
It's only been rebirthed last year.
I
Yeah.
bet you, though, these are the same dudes rocking
would
up.
be.
If you took the Q&K numbers that we used to go down with,
Yeah.
it hasn't changed.
Yeah,
That's
true.
it. We were in a group of 10 last time Q&K went down.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
true.
hasn't really changed, considering...
And I suppose if it's, and that's one of the problems going back to our last cast, that's one of the problems with where we're currently at is all these fragmented groups. Like,
Those
until you know, how many garage gamers that, or maybe there's a group of maybe 6 regular coaches, how many, that aren't even aware of Uke Bowl or Ozbowl. The Ozbowl is the big online community that supports Australian coaches.
Yep.
If you not on that and you play Blood Bowl, get on it, man.
Or you want to play it,
Yeah.
this is the place, this is your resource for local info to get involved in the scene.
Definitely,
But anyway,
yeah.
let's get back to your cheat sheets, buddy. Let's go. What's next?
Well, we were on aesthetics and we kind of
yeah, I know. We're
drifted
going
off
flipping and
a little
flopping.
bit.
Yeah. So back to aesthetics. Teams.
Yep.
How many teams did you own, Muddy, at your peak? You've never sold a team,
I'm
have
not,
you?
I don't see
You're a
miniatures.
hoarder. Yeah.
No, I did never do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
You're
I-
both hoarders, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have too great a turnover. I need to keep selling them. Otherwise,
No,
I'd need a
no,
I just
second
get another
house.
shop.
Too many regrets.
I just buy another bookcase.
So, how many teams do you have?
Can I it must be 10 plus.
You reckon?
Individual teams?
Well, I've got multiple human teams. I've got Slan, Lizards, Chaos Dwarves, High Elves.
True, you do. Yeah.
Oh crap, how many is that? I don't even know what I've just said.
That's
But
about 6.
plus 2 humans, so that's, what, 8?
Yeah, pretty spot on with 10.
And I might be missing something.
Yeah, okay, bloody hell! I didn't realise that many.
Yeah.
Because we were running 2 teams at a time.
There was one,
That
one
stage?
camp, one league we did.
Our first
were
league, we
running
ran 2 teams.
Yeah, most of our leagues you could run 2 teams.
Yeah.
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 But we chose, the later ones we chose not to.
What about you, Mr. Millsop?
I've got just a meager 4.
Amiga 4.
So,
Yeah.
Dwarves, High Elves.
No, elves.
Oh, Elves.
Pro
okay,
elves.
yeah. Yep,
Humans
yep,
and dark elves.
yep, okay.
Hated those Dark Elves.
They're awesome. They're so good.
So,
Camry.
I currently own Camry and Amazon.
Oh, your
What
Amazons.
were the
So-
Asian ones you had?
I'll get to that.
All right.
I got Camry and Amazons, and they were the first 2 I bought
Vampires as well.
because they were the actual G-Dub ones.
Yep.
So the Camry models are still great.
They're pretty good.
They
Yeah.
still hold up.
Yeah.
Amazons were just, I thought they were a great team. I
They were.
loved
They still are.
the stats are just great.
Yeah.
I've had my best run at Uke Bowl with Amazons and Knuffle Rocks dice. Let's make that quite clear.
You've got quite a few too. I'm just going through. You had the.
So that what I currently own. I have owned High Elves,
Yep.
Dark Elves,
Yep.
Pro Elves, Vampire, Chaos Pact,
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Chaos Pack.
Chaos Warriors.
Yep.
I haven't owned any other undead teams.
You're a slut.
But,
Yeah, I was
a
a proper
Did
slut.
you say Camry in this?
Humans, Orcs,
You're a dead set
Oh,
slut.
well, yeah, they're not. Yeah, I've got Orcs. as well.
and Norse.
Yeah,
What?
that was the other one I was thinking for.
So I've owned and played all of those teams
Yeah.
over the
That's
past.
insane.
So
8
we're,
years.
we're nearly double
Yeah.
figures, I'd say.
I've only
Yeah.
got 2 now because I sold most of them to Brad.
Yeah.
He bought most of my
He's
teams.
he's a hoarder.
He is a
Fucking
total
bubble
hoarder.
boy.
He's
just,
a total hoarder.
He's in his bubble, just surrounded with
Yeah.
shelves of shit just everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
It's all classic stuff, though.
Yeah, he loves it.
It's got to be worth a fortune.
Yeah.
His
Antiques.
shelves. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant just the lead content.
Yeah, I am. So yeah, I was good.
Hang on, no regrets about selling any of it? Like, no regrets? That
Nah.
goes with catch
I mean,
yourself one
honestly,
night
I kept the official G-Dub ones. So those 2 teams were the only fully G-Dub teams I had. Like,
Yep.
the rest are all converted or third-party manufacturers. So,
Yeah, all my teams are all G-Dub.
Yeah.
stuff, and I paid a fortune for some of it because I wanted it all to be G-dub.
The proper kit.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
Mm.
But still had some really nice teams. The Chaos Pack team I had was really nice.
Hang on, the Chaos Pack?
Chaos Pack team.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry. And then, yeah, some of the others, like I had a really nice, the Asian team from Impact
Yep.
Miniatures. That was really good. And then, yeah. Oh, that's not true. I had my Wood Elves. Did I mention I had Wood Elves?
yeah, Pro Elves.
No, Wood Elves as well.
No,
there
he
was,
said,
only Pro Elves. There was High Elves, Dark Elves, and Pro Elves.
And Wood Elves.
and what else?
No, there wasn't.
Treeman.
Treeman.
Was there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Shit, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Wood Elf team I had was all G-dub.
Yeah, there was. It was Treeman.
Because the
wasn't
Pro Elves
there?
were
You can only take 2 Treeman, couldn't you? Or 3. 2 or 3.
Oh, and probably the special character, maybe.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I never played them.
Mm. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I was a proper slut.
Dead set, man.
Yeah.
That's why he's burnt out.
That's why he needs to sell them, too. Like, otherwise...
Never sell.
That's it. Yeah, because they just judge you. Like, they sit on the shelf and they're like, you don't, you're a cheap little hoe. You're just playing with your new toys.
Come play with me.
That's how I feel about my hack at the moment.
See, you know what the problem is? A couple of years' time, the kid's going to be that age. He's going to be like, oh, I wish I hadn't sold those teams.
Nah, we'll just buy them all.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
The
then
new
you're
miniatures make up
Yeah,
for
the
it.
new
Yeah, that's
minis are
true.
really good.
The new orcs. Oh, so good.
Except not compatible with the old stuff.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
Well, not compatible. I guess... Is it compatible? But probably... The old stuff probably is.
Side
Because
by
it would
side,
fit.
no.
Well, no, not side by side. But it would fit on the square, which is the most important thing. So
Oh yeah, yep.
you could use it as a playing piece, purely as a playing piece.
Yep.
But you'd lose the aesthetic value because of the size difference.
Because that's what the 4th edition, or the latest edition, 2016
4th
edition, I
yep.
think they refer to it, BB 2016.
Yep.
Increased the size of everything. So
Mhm.
it went from 25mm bases to 32mm bases.
Want steroids?
And the squares got bigger and the pass ruler got bigger because of that. So you can't actually use your old pass ruler on the new game.
That's
what's
clever, though.
And to be honest, as much as it's just a pitch, like a board with miniatures, you still want it to look the business. There's nowhere, if we were to play it nowadays, there's nowhere we would use old miniatures and new, old versus new. It would be all the new stuff. You'd have to.
No, I'd still use my classic stuff.
Would you?
Yeah.
And have a big dude lord it all over you?
Yeah.
At the end, I don't think the aesthetic matters too much in this
You
game.
reckon?
It'd
be like
still
humans would be
comes-
like ogres compared to the old.
It still comes down to pretty much being a board game at that point. Really,
It does.
it's a pretty board game.
I don't know if
It's
I
a very
could.
pretty board game.
I think you'd get past it once you got past probably the first turn, and half you guys are off,
yeah.
knocked out. You'd be,
Or dead.
yeah, you'd be over.
Stupid game.
Stupid game.
Do you have to paint your miniatures in this game?
Do you have to paint them?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
All right, so that's your differential right there.
Oh,
It's not a board game because you have to paint your
yeah,
miniatures.
but I'm making the board game look
Oh, but hang on a second. I
Ah.
thought you didn't have to make the game look pretty.
as pretty as a board game can be.
Would you play with unpainted miniatures, Greg?
Would I play it? Personally, no.
Of course
Definitely
he-
not.
of
But-
course he would.
But could you...
Oh, in a slow grow league,
As
you
a
might.
slow grow, yeah.
Oh, come on. For God's sake. Would you give it a break?
Not anytime soon, no.
Once you start painting some miniatures.
But in saying
Someone actually, someone did use. Was it JT? He played with miniatures and they were just undercoated in gloss black,
yuck.
and it was you couldn't tell them apart because the fluoro lights in club would be bouncing off these glossy black
Yes,
miniatures,
yep.
and they'd all just sort of blur into
He
a
dead set
blob.
dipped them in like tar,
Yeah,
and I just put them on the board, and that was them. It was just,
It was
it
probably
was horrible.
He probably did that out of some tactical.
He did. It was a mental thing to like screw around with your brain to
knew
go.
that when the
This
light-
is disgusting. Like it's disgusting to look at.
Yeah, you didn't want to look at it, and then when the light hit it, it reflected into your eyes.
to be
and
fair,
you
he was still a young tacker back then. He didn't have the coin to pay me to paint his miniatures for him. So
Oh,
Then he
that's
had-
true.
But he was using like things like
Street-
Gent Stealers or wasn't he? He was using like aliens or something for. So there weren't even. He was proxying miniatures for.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
Norse, and they were like aliens or something, and they just even the particular miniatures he was using were horrible to look
So it
at.
was. So
We're
it was
calling you out
hard
now,
to-
JT.
Yeah,
we
he's
need
really
photos
brilliant, yeah.
posted up.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah.
they were hard to know what they were in the first place.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to look at them as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
They just look
tactical
gross.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know, it might scare some of our younger viewers,
No.
listeners.
No, this is a quality game.
Cool. So, quality game. Should we get into gameplay right now?
Let's do it. Do it.
You are listening to Power Stance Gamers. And now, this.
There are really two ways to play Blood Bowl. You got your tournament games, and you've got your leagues.
Yep.
And they are chalk and cheese as far as how it plays, I've found. What do you reckon?
Well, we played a lot of both. What did you prefer? Tournament style lists, or did you prefer the campaign?
I think League 100%
Yeah.
is where you get the most enjoyment out of this game. That's the progression and skilling up of players is by far the most interesting and fun aspect of the
You get
whole
that
thing.
role playing element to it because you're starting to build the character of your name and your players. You're building the stats for your players. You get the shits when Coco Pops goes down with a busted knee. He's got a niggling injury. You're like, here's my favorite Mighty Blow guy.
Yeah. Or your prize thrower with 50 plus completions dies on the night of the grand final.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks.
You definitely get attached to them.
You
get
do.
attached to your players, definitely. And because you go out with a plan, and I guess we should explain how you skill up. You essentially roll your 2 dice, your 2d6 on a table, and they've got access to various skills. Common skills were the easiest to get, I think up to maybe 10 or maybe 9. So if you rolled any score between 2 and 10, for example, you get access to your common skills. Whereas a double gave you
A special skill.
and if you rolled over 10, so you got 11 or 12, you got access to some sort of unique
10,
skill.
11, 12 was the unique
Okay,
stuff.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
When
that was
is that when
So
you
that
can do
was
the
your
strength
plus
boosts
movement,
and-
plus strength.
Yeah.
plus
So it gives-
stat boost.
It give
Stat
you
boost,
stat
yeah.
boost and access to rare skills. And that's when it became really interesting because all of a sudden that thrower might become incredibly strong or,
Yeah.
just whatever the particular skill was. It was just insane.
So in order to do that, though, for players to skill up, they needed to do stuff in the game.
That's right.
They needed to run in touchdowns. They needed to complete passes. They needed to
Kill people.
injure players, that sort of stuff. So that's when you got your skill. So you couldn't just sort of fudge your way through a season and skill you up. You actually needed to get your
Do
team
stuff.
participating in the game.
And more importantly, you had to get that star player into positions to score, which put him in positions of risk, where he would get blocked, where he would get hit, where he would get pushed into the crowd and maybe killed. But he had to do it in order to get the TD, the touchdown.
Yeah, it's a funny combo because you're really trying to, obviously you're trying to win the game, but to win the game, you might be putting your best player into some
On
very
the line.
precarious positions.
Yep.
And your opponent knows that that's your favorite player, and they're gonna do their best to make sure he's not playing.
There's
anymore.
nothing like sitting down across from someone and going, right, who's your player with all the skills on him?
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, you go, oh, he's the one right back on the defensive touchline because he's not going anywhere near you.
Because he doesn't want to get fouled.
Yeah.
Because in this game, whenever you go down, your opponent's got the option, the opportunity then to foul him, as Muddy just said, which
Yep.
means
The whole
he
team
can essentially the whole team, if they want, can stack around him as long as there's squares available and stick the boot in basically, and they all add assists, which makes it even easier for that player to get injured.
break
So
the armor. Yep.
conversely, if the player who's doing the foul rolls badly, he can get sent off.
It doubles.
But to crappy teams like Goblins and that, where life is cheap, they don't really care. So,
Yeah.
but to your star player, where there's only one of them.
Yep. And your sphincter's just going.
Yep. How many times have we been in that position? Too
A lot.
many times.
Too many
A lot.
times, or
Because-
get pushed into the crowd.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have played with players in our leagues, and no disrespect to these players and not having to go at all, but fouling was the thing they enjoyed most. The look on your face as they stacked 6 bloody halflings around your star player ready to stick the boot in.
That's
Millsy.
Yeah. All I wanted to do was score touchdowns. I found it abhorrent, these people that just all they wanted to do was kill your dude. You're like, I want to score touchdowns, man.
But I think, I mean, and while we're on gameplay, so this is another thing about Blood Bowl, is that you could play it, there's a whole bunch of different play styles. For a deceptively simple game, you know, you could play that long bomb passing game, which was Muddy's.
I loved the whole...
You loved your
throwing it
ruler.
from one side to the other, and then running across here, doing a handoff, and then running up the other. Like, that just... The ball flicking all around the place.
Yeah.
That stuff gets me off.
Or alternatively, you could play the Movement 4 Dwarf Cage.
The cage.
Yep.
That's Greg Star.
As
Yep.
you just have this wall of fat little short men guarding the ball
But
carrier.
hang on, I
Oh.
think, didn't you play... Somebody played... I'm pretty sure you played Dwarves, and didn't you say it was, like, highly stressful? Like, it was really hard to play?
Yeah, I tried Chaos and Chaos Dwarves. I found the Chaos Dwarves were a little bit harder to do that with because you didn't have as many Chaos Dwarves, and the little
Yeah.
hobgoblins were easy to break.
Mm.
And with the Chaos, they start with no skills. So once they played a few games, they were like good at killing stuff. Like, it's nothing better than getting the ball to a Chaos Warrior who, you know, I think it's Strength 4 or something. By that time, block and everything else, just walking up the pitch,
Smashing.
just come at me, bro. You know.
Mm.
But yeah, I did find that style very hard because the whole time, because I'm always thinking movement and trying to flick the ball with a dwarf.
No, there's none of
There's
that.
none of that.
There's none of that.
I found
Yeah.
it
Steamroller.
really hard.
Steamroller.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even with that Steamroller, you still had to move. You had to constantly keep moving every turn.
Yep.
And it might only be one square, but if you didn't move that one square, that's what your opponents didn't realize. All they had to do was hold you up maybe one turn of non-movement, and that's you stuffed. Also, you had to constantly keep moving forward.
And you had to worry about where you pushed them.
And you constantly always had to keep an eye out of that on that one square to make sure that that one square you're trying
Yeah.
to move
That-
wasn't bogged up. So
that
yeah.
style of play was way too regimented for me. I
Yeah.
liked it a bit more loose.
So, which is why I love my Amazons,
Yep.
who really were jack of all trades.
Well,
But
all
they
the dodge and
dodge on
zipping
everyone,
and
which means
zagging.
they could get away from the opponent. But at the
Yep.
other time, like, they weren't good passers, but they were okay at it
Yep.
because they had the positionals, the pass, the catch.
But they were good
they
with
could deal with it.
the handoffs and whatnot.
Yeah,
so you
they
could
were
use
great
the
ball
movement
players.
with the blodging going on.
So used to the way I used to play Amazons was quite offensively.
Yep.
Get a lot of and sort of create space for a ball carrier to move rather than relying on passes or a cage.
Yep.
So if you can push people away from your ball carrier,
Yep.
you're gonna be laughing.
Hmm.
So that was my sort of style there. So yeah, as we said, like there's just three little examples of how you can play the
I
game.
used to have the Hail Mary. thing.
Your
That's right.
I had
high
it all
elf, Hail
statted
Mary.
up, so I was like
yeah.
throwing them on twos with diving catch, and you just throw 3-4 catches up the other end, and you got to try and cover them all. While I got old matey at the back, just come at me. You got to do something.
The season I got to the grand final with my Camry.
Oh, here we go. All the trophies about to come up now, is it?
Yeah, we're going to talk about trophies.
My favourite bit, actually.
I didn't win that grand final. I lost to Brad's Lizardmen. But I had a Camry thrower with Hail Mary,
Yep.
and I had 2 catches with diving catch.
Yep.
So the plan was you just sit that thrower with Hail Mary right at the backfield, and then fight your way forward.
Smash.
Yep.
Basically
Smash
stuff.
through,
Yep, which you can do.
and
with
then
Camry.
just whoop, long bomb.
Yep, for the last minute.
Yeah, I used to
TD.
love that sort of stuff.
But its weakness was high agility, high movement players that could get through your lines. Or skinks.
I have to say that my top 3 gaming moments falls to a Blood Bowl game, and it's the Dungeon Bowl that we played, and I think you played in it with Camry.
Yep.
Nathan was there with Orcs. I was trying to think on the way up to the show who else was there, and I can't remember who the fourth player was. It might have been Brad, out of memory. I think Brad maybe with Orcs possibly as well, but it's not to be corrected. But anyway, essentially, I was Pro Elves. You were all Bashi. You talked it up on the forums how you're going to absolutely. First thing was to rip my elves like to pieces,
Stomp them.
like
Yeah.
kill them all, and then between the three of you just fight it out. And I was like, I'm dead. Like I've got no chance. And I think I got second turn maybe, or maybe, I can't remember second turn. And I just saw this play. It was just like the heavens opened, and I just saw this light, and it just shone. And I just went, I can do this. I can get like a 1-turn touchdown. I can. And with Dungeon Bowl, the way it's played in a friggin' dungeon, right? So it's not a straight pitch. There's walls. There's surprise.
Roof.
There's
So
booby traps.
Yeah.
There's roof. You can't pass the ball. We can, but it's like a short, quick
Yeah.
pass. So, I just happened to where my elves lined up. They all with a couple of go-go's. I could do it.
I could just picture you just been crapping yourself for these go for it's too.
Yeah, and then what happened was because in Blood Bowl you get a chance to re-roll. You can re-roll your dice.
Yep.
As many tokens as you've got. I think it's only once per turn though, isn't it?
Once per turn, yeah.
Yeah, once. Yeah.
So, and the first bloody pass. So I saw this player first pass dropped it, so I had to re-roll. So the first thing I did screwed it up. And then I can't remember how many rolls I had to go for. It might have been 5 or 6.
It was quite a few of them. And they weren't easy rolls either.
And then,
You were
that's
like,
not including the go for it. And then I had to block your Khemri. There's a Khemri mummy or something.
Yep.
So I had to go 2 against it to get to the end. And I did it all. It just all worked for me.
So
and I won.
You won Dungeon Ball in the second turn.
Yeah. I'll never forget that.
With some fluky rolls.
After you guys saying
Yep.
saying you were going to smash me, and I said to Jacob, I remember speaking to him before we played, saying if I won, I was going to get Bombardier on my thrower, which means he could throw bombs instead of balls. And I was just like, all week I was thinking, if it happens, that's fine. Straight away, boom, Bombardier. That was it. My thrower could throw bombs for the rest of the season.
So when we played our leagues, we had just so many coaches that were keen for games. We actually had to come up with extra ways to play the game. It's because we were burning through the game so quickly. So we had our normal league where you played every person in it twice. And it wasn't scheduled, so you just, hey Muddy, you want for a game? Yep, we'll play our game. Done. Off we go. So there was maybe 10, 12 coaches in the league.
Yeah.
And you could take up to 2 teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were looking at, in a season, up to 30 odd games.
And the season was 6 months.
And the season was 6 months.
Yep.
So, it was just nuts. But then even then we were running out, so we had to come up with all these other ways to play the game. So we had our Dungeon Bowl, which was like an invitational, and that was in the dungeon. Then we had the, Mick Murdy's Mootland Massacre, which was
the losers?
The halfling sponsored tournament for the losers. The bottom 4 teams got an invite to that.
Did you play in that, Muddy?
Oh,
Did you get an invite in that? No, I never got.
I never got into that.
Did you get an invite?
No.
Yeah.
No, you didn't get an invite. That's weird.
Have you tried playing Slum?
Don't give it. How many times did we say not play them?
So
how many times?
The other thing we did was
that's just a red flag to a ball, mate. You say I can't do
and
it,
hence why you get invited to McMurdy's.
and I want it.
And one of my favourite ways to play Blood Bowl was Street Bowl, which was literally back alley Blood Bowl. And you'd wager with, like, you'd place bets. There was no winnings in these games, but you could place bets with the other coaches.
I didn't want to risk my elves.
Yeah, because
I never played it either because the same thing.
I didn't want my guys dying.
It was very deadly.
Yeah. I love my elves. And then we had the Squig Cup.
The Squig Cup, yeah. So this is all in a season. Like, you probably, if you were dedicated, could play up to 40 games in a season.
You know what? I'm annoyed at Chad because that year I won Dungeon Bowl. That was a year, right? I'm dead set. Like, I really, this is the chat I had with the chat with Mrs.
Yeah.
Right, the one.
This is the serious. I'm going to take it seriously.
I'm going to win it, babe.
But seriously, right, up until that
Do
time.
it, honey. Do it for the family.
We were like, we had players, coaches that were smashing games. Like, really committed, and boom, they would play 3 games a week, whatever.
Yep.
And at that stage,
I was one of them, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't that committed. And then, I wouldn't get into finals or, wouldn't get to grand final. I'm like, man, I really want to win a cup, because the cups are cool. So I said, Cherokee, right, I really want to dedicate time to this. You want to do it? You do it. You go in, go hard or go home. So I was like, right, this is my season. So I man, at this stage, I was working for myself. I was playing games during the day when I should have been working. Clients are calling me, and I was just ignoring their phone calls because I was playing games during the day, spamming games week to week. So I'd get the points to get my players to get them skilled up so I'd get into the finals.
Yep.
And then I won Dungeon Bowl. I won the league that year, and the friggin' Squig Cup was the last game of the season. I was playing the final against Chad. And
this is the Squid Cup, by the way, for our listeners, was a competition, just a knockout tournament competition that we had, and the ball was a squig. So it was alive and running around the pitch.
Yeah,
I think it could actually.
Yeah, it could injure you.
Yeah.
And I played against Chad in the final, and the game was won, and it was the last turn, and the only way he could win was to roll a blitz, I think. What happened? He rolled a bloody blitz. got the ball, ran in, scored a touchdown and won. And I was spewing. Otherwise, I was a trifecta. I was the season that I would have gone.
Oh, well
done.
Sucks to be you.
Bloody Chad.
Bloody Chad. I beat Chad in the grand final one year.
Everybody's won a grand final except me.
Oh, if you don't want a grand final, sorry, Muds.
No, I'd
Sorry,
get to
buddy.
the end and always choke at the end.
Does it bother
remember,
you that Brad won one and you didn't?
No, not really. You got to,
He did beat me, to be fair.
What I'll do is, whenever you come around to my house, I'll put like a cloth over my cups. That way you don't have to see it.
Oh, I've never seen them.
Oh, have you not? It's
No.
sitting right in the front of my trophy cabinet.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise you had a trophy.
Mine's on my shelf. I can show you.
No, you can show. That's fine.
It's
That's
next to
fine.
my best sports
drink
trophies.
out of it. Maybe drink out of it.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah.
Maybe we should for this episode.
We should have got
drinking your
drinking out of the
classic beer.
cups.
Yeah, out of
See,
our
you
cups.
should have thought of that, shouldn't you?
I'll do a special edition Blood Bowl Champions lager.
Lager. Jerks.
And I think that's going back to the gameplay. That's another thing. It's so layered. Again, with the teams, I forget how many teams there was. Maybe 16 teams all up with the add-ons. But there were tiered. Do you remember there was
23.
20. All right. There was 3 tiers. So you had your top tier teams, which
Yeah.
would be dwarves, orcs.
Wood elves.
Well, yeah. Don't know about wood elves.
Are you kidding me?
No.
No one
Don't
can
think
do
Wood
it one
Elves.
turn.
Yeah,
them and
Wood Elves,
Skaven.
totally top
One
tier.
turn TDs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Stand corrected. And then
Wait up for a minute. He didn't even know there were Wood Elves. So
Yeah, fair, yeah.
Throw your bone there, bud.
tier 2 then, and then you had tier 2, and then tier 3 were like the
Halflings.
bloody hopeless of the hopeless.
Islam.
Like,
Did you ever play a tier 3 team?
no, I didn't. Didn't appeal to me from a aesthetics
from a
point of
winning-
view.
Yeah.
Point
I
of
just
view.
no, I didn't like half.
Neither did I. I never took halflings or
Islam.
I just didn't like them.
slan. No.
I played goblins because goblins would be cool, like with the trolls and that.
Yeah.
Goblins were fun because they had all secret weapons and
Yeah, Chad
stupid,
played
crazy
them, didn't he?
shit.
Played the
Yeah,
Samurai
that's what
version.
we played in the grand final. So
Yeah.
he got them all the way to the top.
Yeah,
Well, they got some good, because you can toss the goblins around and whatnot too.
like
Yeah.
With the
chainsaws.
ball and stuff. So,
Yep.
Chainsaws. They got the berserkers.
Yeah,
with the
and
The fanatics,
that's
yeah.
the fanatics.
Yep.
So lots of good stuff there. Going back to long ago when I said the 2 ways to play the league and the
Oh, yeah.
and the tournament. So we just talked about league and how much we love league, and QNKBBL was a lot of fun.
Can I just get, going back to the club situation, we used to rock up, and how many of us would be there on a Friday night, and it'd be just a sea of Blood Bowl
Yep.
boards?
I'm gonna play 2 games as well. We'll get 2 games.
You'd
in.
smash 2 games on Friday
Yep.
night. Yeah.
Yep, and there'd be tons of us there.
There'll be 12 of us. There'll be like a good 4 or 5 tables, if
Yep.
not even the full six tables.
That was glory days, golden age.
Golden
That's why we're talking about
age.
it.
Oh, we did it
golden
for 3
age.
years. 3 years we did it for.
Yeah, three
Yeah.
years.
I know we did it for 3, and then I think we bowed out at 3 years. I mean, you might have carried on for 3.5. I think you did a season.
think
You did a
maybe-
season after us.
I did. I didn't commission that league though. That was Millsy did that
Oh,
league.
you
Oh,
just
the
played in
Millsy
it?
I just played in it.
And
Yeah.
And then you played, you tried...
Shout out to Paul Miller.
Yeah, Millsy. He'd be still playing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't see his
I mean,
name in the Uke Bowl.
He's probably
list.
playing right now.
Probably. If he's not playing right now, he's come out with funny names for his team. That's for sure.
He's there, and he's lying there in his bed, rolling his block dice.
Dreaming of
I'll
it.
knock you down, bro. Knock you down.
Then file.
Yeah, so the other way is tournament play, and listeners, if you've been listening from the start, you've heard some stories about some shenanigans that may have happened allegedly
Or may
at
not.
Uke Bowl. I can't remember. I'd have to trust these guys what happened down there.
He
It's-
wouldn't remember.
No, he was too busy falling over
Too
from
busy
memory.
lying around in the
Yeah.
garden.
Yeah, falling backwards.
Yeah, and sharing my brilliant drinks like Guinness and
Yeah.
Port. Like,
Oh, we should say do a bloopers.
I think we'll get arrested.
Oh, we wouldn't. There's going to be worse shit out there than this. Sure.
but tournament was very different from league play because tournament you built your list to be as competitive as possible
1250.
off the start. Yeah.
1250.
So
What was it?
1250 is the
Boom.
number that's burned in our brains because that was the amount 1,250
Gold points.
gold.
Coins.
Yep.
Bullion.
Mm.
So that was always the Stocko tournament,
There was a few
Value.
others, like you had progressive sort of tournaments and not.
which kind of blended the league rules with.
Yeah, which then you got to give a skill and you could play around and whatnot. But I
Yeah.
always I like to keep it simplistic. It's like dance moves. Got to keep it simple.
Yep.
Otherwise you fall over. So The 1250.
Yeah.
Simple. You've nutted it out at home, and this is what I've got. This is what I got in total for the day, and I used to love it. I used to love playing the Brizzy tournaments.
It's the
Mango running.
the perfect tournament game, without a shadow of a doubt. It's difficult to go over time. You can stick to your hour and a half, 2 hour time limit easily. A good coach should be able to stick to, within that time, especially at 1250. And it's incredibly balanced.
And with the simplicity of the rules, you can't have any shenanigans.
Yeah, it's all open. You know exactly.
Never had a rules issue in Blood Bowl.
Never.
Yeah,
Never saw any tiffs. No one had any little dust ups.
I threw some dice once, but
I threw a miniature once.
But yeah, it's all open, so you know what skills your opponent tells you the skills that their team has got, and you know exactly what they are. They're on the rule book, so you just can, if you haven't played them before, you can easily look it up and understand what the hell it is.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rules to it.
It's just the skill ups.
No, but the skill ups. But even if you weren't sure about the team, it's not like you've got some.
And the stat line's only 4 stats: armor, movement, strength, agility. Four stats.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Look at that.
And it's pretty standard. They were good times. Even the local Brizzy scene was really good.
My issue with it was, I think you'd go, right, okay, so you've got a Norse list, this is what you got. I could have told you what was in your Norse list without seeing your list, or you could have told me what was in my Amazon list without seeing my list. You know that there are combinations that work so good that you're crazy not to use them in a tournament.
Yeah, certain teams are you're gonna have your builds.
Yeah. I think Blood Bowl, probably because of the simplistic nature, there were, and I guess it's different in a league situation where you are sort of trying to go for all comers, and there's also that random thing, you don't know what skills you're going to get until you roll the dice.
But even the rosters themselves, it's not like they have 15 different choices.
No, most of it only have 4 or 5 of them.
There's not that many choices, so
some only have 2. Vampires have got thralls and vampires, that's it.
The big change, like the big difference in some of the lists sometimes is if someone has a star player, especially in the tournament list,
or forgoes maybe a blitzer, which is one of your top players, and would take a line dude on another reroll, for example. So
there wasn't
instead of 2 rerolls, it would take 3 rerolls.
Yep,
that'll be the big differences.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a criticism, but you know me, I'm not a huge tournament guy. See campaigns, leagues. That's my jam.
That winning list that was unbeatable, you didn't win with. The
Chaos
Pact.
Where's that trophy?
I thought the Chaos.
Where's the big trophy?
I thought the Chaos Pact. That was it. That was the dead
set.
Do you
know what? I still don't.
That one?
Oh, is that like the Infinity ones where you keep telling me you're going to win when Josh writes your lists and stuff? Where's the big trophy?
No, I've never.
That's why we did.
I've never said I'm going to win
to
Infinity.
The listeners, I'm just looking around for this big trophy cabinet with all these massive trophies. I can't see anything.
Don't make me go get my cup and put it down.
The shame. Shame.
So yes, there was that year at Uke Bowl when I thought I had just the world's tits list.
Well, in fact, well, not only that, I think you played. I'm pretty sure you played me and you smashed me, and I think you played somebody else and you smashed them. We were like
in practice games. Yeah.
Dead set. That's it. You've won. We were talking up as well. So you were like thinking, I've got to. I'm onto something good here.
Secretly, we were like 30%. 30%.
And dead set, we thought you were going to walk away with the trophy.
Yeah. So first of all, fuck you, Muddy, and your 30%. Second of all, I didn't take into account that I had to roll dice, and that's if we're going to talk about Blood Bowl, and this is a perfect segue. Blood Bowl, your enjoyment of the game can 100% depend on the dice you roll.
Yes.
Because you can do everything right. You can have the most top tits team. You roll a 1 and then you roll another 1, game over.
Yeah.
And then you know what? You can actually, instead of just rolling 1 dice, you can roll 2 dice and get double ones. And guess what? You can re-roll both those dice with your re-roll. So you pick it up and you think, chances of rolling double ones again?
Yeah.
Don't know what they are, but they're going to be high.
Well, 36 times 36.
You roll those suckers and guess what? It's another bloody double 1. And you go to your calculator and you work it out and you go, for fuck's sake, is that really possible?
Yeah.
That's the only part of the game I found frustrating is when I liked creating the play. It was all about moving some side of the board that you might not have seen to do a handoff, to throw a pass, to a catcher, to simple numbers, and the dice cocks it up, and you're like, for fuck's sake, I feel like I've outplayed this position, but the dice just have not. And then they'll need a 6 to do something. They get it, and you're like, this is fucked.
But then, going back to when we played, I remember the last season. Maybe not so much the last season. It might have been halfway through our playing days. The penny dropped. You don't roll dice. You try and minimize your dice rolling, and make sure when you do roll dice, you roll as many as possible, and you got to re-roll just to back it up all the time.
Yeah, totally.
But there's always that chance where you're going to...
But that's it, you go, right, I've got to pick this ball up on a 2, fail it, re-roll, still needing a 2, fail it.
It's about debt minimisation.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
But you're only one away from...
But then Classic Millsy was the polar opposite, who you'd be winning 1-0 and think you pretty much got it. You're cool. Especially as a dwarf player, and here he is, maybe last play of the game, and he's eyed up this pass where he needs a 6 with a possible intercept, and then maybe another 6 just to get it in. And you're saying, seriously? And you're going, mate, it's possible. It's possible. Mathematically, it's possible.
You can't argue with that.
You can't. And I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Let the dice gods speak.
But I got to a stage in Blood Bowl where I got two distinct stages in Blood Bowl. Where I was like, I actually had to, when I was playing my Asian team, I had to make myself a little miniature Zen garden that I used as a turn counter because I wrote on this little Zen garden on the base that I did on, I said there is no dice because I was hating the game because I was playing elves and I was like, I got to do everything on 2-ups and I kept rolling 1s and it was just like the worst season I had. So I thought, fuck it. But then playing with Millsy. And it was Millsy who sort of had this revelation that it was almost like that Nuffle, the god of Blood Bowl, was watching you, and the more audacious, the more stupid and daring and bold play you were going to do, it was going to work. Okay, so you go, right, 2-up with a reroll, fail, no worries. 6-up, last throw of the dice, Hail Mary pass to win the game. Bang, there's your 6. And it could be that dice bias that you remember the good shit and you remember the bad shit. You don't remember the in-between. But I almost think that once you start taking the risk and doing the big plays, like it paid off. And when it did, it was just nuts. It was so good.
There's not like, just going back to that Dungeon Bowl, I can remember that play specifically. And then whenever I won, I was running around the club like a madman. I was
never able to sleep after games too.
And even the final where I played...
I had no sleep, dude.
Yeah, whenever I played...
That's like, this is a Scottish accent.
I remember playing JT in the final and...
Oh, here he is, bragging again.
In the grand final?
Yeah, the one I won.
The one you won, yeah.
Yeah, the one I was dedicated and won.
Wanker. I didn't have my wife in my corner helping me roll dice in the backyard.
And I remember that night just buzzing. I was on a high like for 2 days. Like dead set, just like, because again, going back to that, the players and Muddy, you'd appreciate this when you set a plan. I still can't believe you didn't win a cup. But whenever you set a plan in motion...
He's being a cunt now, isn't he?
Get it! Oh, is that... You got that in the kidney?
But whenever you set, you build a team to do certain things, and you set that plan in motion, and it all just sort of panned out. And all credit to Jetty, it was a really tough final. It was a really hard final, but the dice gods favoured me at the end of the day, so happy days.
So that's his PC way of saying he fucked. He fucked him good.
I didn't say that, but you said it. No, it was good. It was good, and JT is such a solid opponent.
A salty opponent.
Solid.
Oh, I heard salty.
He did not. But yeah, get you. The highs and lows are extreme.
Yeah,
I guess that's the point. Like you're saying,
yeah,
you want to throw your dice when you roll those double ones. Like you really want to murder them.
I did at UCall that year. I threw my dice across the room.
Yeah, then you went and bought some new ones.
No, I didn't. I resisted the temptation.
Well, when did you buy the?
Okay, so for listeners, there's kind of an urban legend.
Urban legend.
Bullshit.
Wait up! You went from 0 to hero with one set of dice.
Now we know, and this is the extent that this legend goes, that people in the community have done scientific tests to test the bias of these dice. And these dice were dice that had printed on the 6. It says Nuffle Rocks. And we'll pop some photos of these gorgeous creations.
I don't have any.
Neither do I.
That's probably why I
And you
didn't
still
win.
haven't won?
That's why I didn't win.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So there was these dice called Nuffle Rocks dice, and there was this perception in the community that they rolled 6s a lot. Okay? And so it was my second Uke Bowl. The first year I took that Chaos Pact list, got slammed. Didn't win a game. I drew in my last game versus someone else that had lost all their other games. And that stopped me from getting the wooden spoon prize. That's how friggin' awesome that tournament was. If I had lost that, I would have walked away with a decent prize. Anyway, so the next year I took, I think Wood Elves, the next year I took them. And I went down and lost my first 3 games. Really badly. And I said, bugger it, I'm going to go buy some Nuffle Rocks dice. And I felt super dirty, and then until game 1 on the second day, where I smashed my opponent. And then game 2 where I smashed my opponent. And then game 3 where I smashed my opponent. Like, it was just a complete swing, a reversal of fortune. And I actually got the prize for best comeback. So I was like 3rd last at the end of the day 1. And come back to like 10th or something like that. And this is out of 70 odd players. So the swing was so huge, I got a prize for that. And then the next year I took Amazons. Same deal. Lost the first 3 games, bought Nuffle Rocks dice, won next 3 games, and got best comeback prize.
And they're scientifically known to roll 6s, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
There were
no,
6s do come
they
up.
did that. I think it might have been
I don't know who did it.
Stephen
but I know
Babbage. I think it might have been
Ooh.
Babs that did the test. I could be wrong here. This is going
No,
back
I think
a few
you're
years.
right. I think you're right. That
Who
rings a
threw a
bell.
dice rolling tower, rolled the dice 1,000 times, recorded the results, and there was no bias on the Nuffle Rocks dice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
really?
Yeah.
Scientifically, come on, that if that's not scientifically proven,
Now this is anecdotal. That's scientific.
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
I played plenty of opponents that had them, and they
Yep.
were,
They
I
always-
just kept seeing Nuffle Rocks
Yep.
all the time.
Yep. Same here. To the point of they had to be banned, didn't they?
yeah, you
Well,
guys
yeah.
banned them.
Yeah, we banned them from the league.
Like,
That's how dirty we were about it.
you're just lucky you didn't get your dice banned.
No, I think that the season I won the trophy, they were in use.
The Nuffle Rocks.
Yep. Yeah.
See, there's more evidence right here.
No, I didn't use them. They were used against me, but
Oh.
I'm just saying that's the caliber of coach I was
wait
that
up.
particular year.
Is it the dungeon one?
No, just the coach that would have played against that year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, right. No, I didn't have any.
Hmm.
So I
No,
must
I
have
didn't-
been really good.
No, the coach that played against me.
I was
had
straight
them.
up using them.
No, I was saying I didn't use any.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't one
I
of them.
did.
Yeah.
Well, you beat yourself. by
You know
rolling
me. I
your-
need the crutch.
All I have to do is not roll the one.
Jeez, that's the worst thing you can say playing Blood Bowl, isn't it? All I need to do is not roll a
Yeah.
one.
Well, I'd go for it, and you'd stress out. Oh, I need to go for it to score a TD, or
You
I was
didn't
going to
wanna
get
do
punched
it.
in the face.
You just didn't want to
And
do
all you had
it.
to do was roll a dice and not roll a 1, and you got to move 1 extra square. And you're like, do it or not? And you'd be sitting there running, going, oh my god, I don't know if I need to do it or not. What do I do?
And then you do it.
And you do it, and you're like, that's a 1. Oh,
And your player falls down,
All
breaks
right.
his leg, and the ball goes over the sideline, drops over to the end zone,
And the score on the other
dwarf
end.
walks in, picks it up.
yeah.
You are listening to Power Stance Gamers. And now, this.
I guess if we like thinking Blood Bowl, if you're someone that's never played it before and you wanted to get into it, what steps would you recommend they take? Would you go out and buy the new box? Is that the first thing you do, or would you shop around for some older kit?
It depends. The simplistic answer would be yes.
Mhm.
But if you've got someone that's actually, if you know what you're looking for, as in there's a certain, or you want to spend a bit of time on the internet, have a look around and see if there's something there that you would prefer, I don't think there'd be any problems with that, because there's plenty of stuff out there. There's plenty of online stores that sell independent sort of stuff.
There's heaps of third-party teams.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
realistically, you probably don't need to. But if you're in the mindset you just want to have 2 teams and you haven't really looked into it that much, and you just kind of want to play straight out of the box, then the box won't hurt you.
I would admit I probably should have checked when I was doing some research. I don't know whether leagues are using the BB 2016 rules or we're still using the competition rules pack, which was the last sort of community rules pack that came together.
Well, if anyone from Ozbowl's listening, hit us up and let us know, because obviously we've been out of it for a little while.
Yeah, be keen to know, actually.
Yeah.
I'd be keen to play some games from outside us. No offense to you guys, we're fun, but it'd be good to see some of the old faces again.
Oh.
Who wants to play?
Well, are they still playing in South Bank? Remember they used to play in the Play-In? It was Play-In, wasn't it?
Is it Fox or?
Oh no, maybe it was. Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, yeah, it was someone
JT
down
used to
there.
play there,
JT
didn't
would
There's
know.
a club there. It was at a bar.
I wonder if they're still doing it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
They used to meet during the week, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the Brisbane League.
Yeah.
Babel. Yeah,
Brisbane Area Blood Bowl League.
That's it.
Yeah. Which was good, but QNK BBL just rolls off the tongue a little. I'm not saying we were better, but
Club of Origin.
the Club of Origin.
But since the golden age of Blood Bowl, didn't we? Hasn't there's been a couple of times to resurrect the league?
We've tried to at QNK.
I think there's a problem there, though. Clubs in general.
Clubs in general, yeah. It's tough if you're not, because it'd be the QNK BBL league, but none of us would go to the club to play. We'd all play at home, which kind of the reason that our original QNK BBL worked so well is because we were all together on those Friday nights playing the games. It wasn't diffused across different locations.
Talking club, this brings in clubs in general. Like, there was a big. It gave you a bit of a drive to go on the Friday nights. To go, not only did you see everyone, but you get your games in and everything. It kind of created an atmosphere. But because we found it harder and harder to necessarily get to the, life gets in the way, we started venturing to people's places, and I don't think everyone's ever. We haven't really returned back. To get that buzz back. That Friday night, like I'd never been able to have sickies before. I'd always been in a job where there was no such thing, right? And then when I joined the work that I do now, I got sickies all of a sudden. I was like, holy shit, I got a sickie. I can use sickies. I've never had a sickie before, And Friday night, we've got to go to work.
That's exactly how I felt
No, I don't. I've got a sickie.
In
and
2010,
for taking sickies.
in 2010, I quit my job at the pub where I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week to a 9 to 5, 9 to 2:30.
Yeah.
40 weeks of the year job,
on a busy day.
On a busy day.
God.
And suddenly it was like Friday nights, and that 2010 was the first league because we were all of a sudden like, fuck, we can do this.
Yeah.
We can commit to it, and that was brilliant. But so advice new player: find a player group.
Yep,
is the key.
Find a good commish.
A good commish. Yeah.
Yep.
We've known a few.
Yep.
Okay.
Hats off and tip my hat to you, sir.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Did a good job.
You just know me. I just go balls deep in whatever I do.
He
like
does.
I can't help it.
But there was a few. What's the word? Individuals, but there was a few instances where you had to step in and swing your commish weight around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put people back in line. That was quite amusing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I just like telling people what to do.
Sorry
That's
about that,
bottom line.
guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so the box, if I was looking at starting, I'd probably get the new box. But I guess it comes down to are people using those rules or are they still using CRP rules?
Yeah.
Which I guess if you talk to the players that you're going to be playing with, that's the good way to go. Figure out what rules they're using. And teams, man,
Well, there's a bunch of them. So
whatever you want.
look online, guys. We'll try and put some links up.
Yeah.
Of some of the stores that we know of.
I reckon I probably gave Impact Miniatures.
Impact Roll Jordan.
$1,000.
The two of the ones I used to. Just check those sort of guys out. Have a look and see what you like.
Does the Warlord Games even have a couple of teams on through their site?
Yeah, I think. Is that from when they've. Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it's still up there.
Yeah, are they?
just the other
Okay.
day.
Yeah. Alright. But and on top of that, you can make your own.
Yeah, Kit Bash. Yeah,
Totally. You can
My
easily.
Dark Elf team was Dark Elder. When they did the CAD designed Dark Elder when they first came out for whatever 6th edition Warhammer. Yeah, I bought a couple of boxes of Witch Elves and
Off you want, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, and just one enough a
But
team.
your Warhammer Fantasy was one of the main go-tos as well for a lot of the teams, like
Yep.
Bretonians and whatnot.
Yep, Chaos Marauders.
Lizard Men,
do
I
anything.
used them for the Chaos. Because plastic, good quality miniatures, and it's not like you're not using the company's miniatures because you're just using a different game system. Pretty easy to do, and there's even more of that stuff around now than what there was before. So
Yeah, imagine
get
teams
towns.
using some Age of Sigmar models. And
you could use the Sigmarines as ogres or something.
yeah,
You could use them as humans. Because that's the same scale. Same scale, though.
Yeah.
32 mil.
Oh, God.
Sigmarines are 32 mil, aren't they?
oh, they'd tower over the Blood Bowl humans.
You reckon?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but that's cool though.
Hmm.
Shit, use Primaris Marines. And
Oh, God.
You know what they need? Who runs Malifaux? Weird Miniatures?
Weird Miniatures.
Yeah, who runs it, though? What's his name? Do you know his name?
John Weird. I don't know.
Hear me. Alright, so weird weird peeps. You need a sports game with cards in the Malifaux universe.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Could be weird.
It would be.
Could you imagine? Oh, it'd be pretty sick models.
Halfway through a game, the pitch would turn into a vagina that swallows the fucking teams.
dude.
Though. Like,
And you can,
have
and
you
then
not read their fluff?
Yeah, can you imagine, like, the weather table?
Yeah.
but you wouldn't have to roll
it's
dice.
now raining newborn babies.
You wouldn't have to roll dice.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
What while we're talking about other companies delving into this, there's been a few other companies that have gone down the fantasy football route.
Yep.
So we've got Guild Ball
Yep.
from Steamforge, is it?
He wants it,
I
mate.
suppose it's proxies for Blood Bowl. Is that your point you're making?
No, just other
Yeah.
sports games.
Just that, yeah, there's other sports games.
Private
out
Tier
there.
Press had one where they used to have the big mechs or something trying to push a ball around.
Yeah,
You got
Dread Ball, wasn't it?
Ball from Mantic, which I've never played.
yeah. So
but-
Guild Ball was from Steamforge Games. Good call, Muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had your Privateer Press, had the Warjack.
Yeah, they had a Warjack thing
One.
where
Oh,
you
yeah,
used
okay.
to some big ball and you try and push it
Yeah.
into the goal or something like
You
that.
got
Yeah.
Aristia.
Aristia.
Oh, that's a sports.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that a ball
more. That's
move?
an arena combat.
Yeah, that's a gladiator
Sports
thing.
game, man.
It's not
It's
a
not-
sports
It's
game.
a sports game.
It's
There's no
not.
ball.
It's a sports
Has
game.
it got a ball?
Do you know what?
Yep.
To be fair, he has gone an hour and 20 minutes without mentioning Infinity.
Yeah, go on, say it. Fine. Quality metal miniatures.
Well, they're not metal, they're plastic.
No, they are if you pay an extra 60
you
quid.
extra-
Yeah,
60 bucks,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you get a rock? They're throwing some rocks for them, or
And yeah, Dreadball.
Dreadball?
Mantic.
Mantic. I've never played it, but that's a very, from my interpretation, it's a very quick.
And see,
game.
if-
The ball never stops.
If we go back to what I was saying last week about the golden age of games, is that the influence that it continues to have.
Yep.
When we look at Blood Bowl, man, like this is just, bam, look, you can see how it has influenced the other companies and their products. And it was when there was that sort of lull and that GW went so long without you doing anything with that IP.
yeah.
That's when other companies started jumping in
Grabbed
and
it.
doing similar things.
But even if you look at, I know we're kind of going over what we went over last episode, but a lot of the games designers that were in this period of, let's say, the golden age, are now essentially working for other companies.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that the other companies are saying, "Hey, look at what you did for these guys with your smarts. Can I have some of that smart so I can sell a product?"
Yeah.
So that
Was
did
has
carried over.
Cavatore do Dreadball?
Cavatore did Kings of War, the first edition or whatever.
Yeah, but it was he in their Dreadball
I
development.
don't
or-
think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But Ronnie Renton was an ex-GW
XGW.
employee.
Yeah.
You know, you got Alessio Cavatore, obviously ex-GW. Warlord Games.
Yeah.
Rick Priestley.
Rick Priestley. Yeah.
The Perry brothers they got their own historical. So those guys that are in that stream have ventured out and are still having an influence. I don't know what any of that's got to do with Blood Bowl though. But anyway,
It's
there you go.
interesting. It's interesting.
Do you know what we haven't talked about?
What haven't we talked about?
We have not talked about the digital forms of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because this
Well, yeah,
would
I kind
be
of
how
I
some
spoke
people.
disparagingly about them at the start by saying you're not a real Blood Bowl player unless you've got
I know, but
your lead miniatures on the table.
I found okay, so it's not as social a game, and it's obviously it's not the board, sitting there with your mate, but it's still the same thing in a way.
It's very faithful recreation.
But for those that maybe don't venture into this sort of world with a tabletop, or maybe they don't know anyone else that plays it, this is an outlet for them to at least try the game.
And you know what?
If
You
you
can
like electronic dice.
you can jump
Yeah.
on Steam and get Blood Bowl for like $3 or something
It'd be
like that.
super cheap. Yeah.
It's like the first one. It's so cheap.
and it's on the Xbox and everything else as well. So like if
It was free on Xbox Live.
There you go.
A couple of weeks ago.
cruise
a
past
couple
the
of months
bargain,
ago. Sorry.
the bargain basement at eBay
Yeah.
Games, and they'll probably throw a copy in. For
So
you.
if you go, oh man, this sounds interesting, but will I like it or not? Do I want to spend $50 on a team?
Yep.
Do I want to buy the box for 130 odd, whatever? Spend $3, get it off Steam or get it on Xbox or something, and try it, because it's essentially the same game, except instead of the dice screwing you when you roll them, it's that
it's the
random,
TV screen.
massive
It's a computer.
finger quotes
Yeah,
around
It's a
random.
computer having a laugh. There's a
you-
little computer in there laughing at you going,
Yeah,
But you're still getting the same effect of getting
Yeah.
pissed off and wanting to throw something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just have the remote next to you, so
Yeah.
you got ready something to throw at the wall.
take your Xbox and throw it down the street.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's good. And honestly, it's still fun. Like, we've had a couple of times where had someone over and just sit on the couch and play 2-player.
Yeah, I've played against Slopster online before.
All right.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Yeah.
I can't get to your place, you can't get to mine, we're busy, but we can quickly ring, hey, you got anything for the next hour or so? Yeah, no, cool. Quickly hop on.
But that was well before Cyanide did the Blood Bowl
So I
games.
did it, yep.
There was still online basic play Fumble? Is that what we call FUMBBL?
Yep.
Or BL? Like it was a really old school sort of Blood Bowl simulator that you could play online. That there still is huge leagues for
Yeah.
that stuff, yeah.
Well, I wonder how the Cyanide versions are going now.
Yeah, don't know.
Because they've been around for a while, so maybe everyone's jumped onto the newest, shiniest thing. But
Was it just this year they released the second one?
No, I thought it was last year.
FFG have done Blood Bowl Team Manager
Oh, that was the
That's
cards.
right.
as a little
Yeah,
card
That's
game.
the one. Is that the one Millsy was always trying to get?
Yeah.
And I don't like. I'm not into
No, we just
cards.
weren't. Yeah, we want
Do you know
fun
what?
stuff.
Let's
What?
bring it to the event. Let's bring it to the Brendale.
What?
Blood Bowl Team Manager.
Oh,
Is it easy to
what?
play?
Yeah, smashed out in half hour.
No, but like the rules easy to pick
Yep.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'd be
So-
keen. I'd be keen to give it a go.
Yeah.
So it's just putting the pitch on the table.
So hang on. So we're playing this and Cards Against Humanity.
And there's a couple of other
Ooh.
little
Strip poker.
things.
Nice.
Yeah, in the
not.
car park. Marty's.
Well, we're getting.
It's full of strawberry daiquiri. We're going to play strip poker in the car park. Yeah. And then the bouncer comes and says, nah.
What?
What?
They're always down for it.
Did you see a bouncer there when you were there? Was
I
there
was going to
security?
say, note to self: there's no bouncers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
So it means keep it zipped up and get too gobby.
Yeah, bouncers have rules.
Yeah.
So have you played Blood Bowl Team Manager?
Yeah,
Yeah?
we smashed it quite a bit because that came out maybe 2012,
That's,
2013.
yeah, well, Millsy was still there.
Right. Good game.
Yeah. Surprisingly, a bit of depth to it. Like, just like Blood Bowl itself, like it seems simple on the outset, but when you start chucking some cards down and things start happening, because you don't actually play Blood Bowl, you kind of just manage your team through
I
the
get it,
season.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's just like
actually,
back in the day, you used to have FIFA like Football Manager.
yeah,
And it was nothing about playing the game. It was all about transfers and
Yep.
your player was injured and what do you do when your player's injured and all that sort of stuff. And people digged it. Like they wanted to manage the team through the season.
Can't you play
Yeah.
video games at the brewery?
yeah. There's
Yeah,
an Xbox there.
Yeah, there's an Xbox.
Oh, you got to download it all the way, don't you? Onto
No,
the
it's got
Xbox.
the
Put a
discs there.
disc in.
I don't know. If someone owns it, hey,
We'll
bring it along.
we'll probably have to have an update or something.
No, I've got Blood Bowl on the Xbox thing. Don't you just take a disc and just whack her in?
Yeah, normally when you put it in, then it needs an update. It's got to download a ton of
Why
shit.
would it need an update?
Because that's what they do now, man.
But can I not do it at home and then take it, and would it not be...
Oh, if you
No.
took your Xbox.
Yeah, if you took your Xbox.
But if
I got Forza 7 the other day. 60 gig update.
Yeah.
60 gig.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
It-
That's why
it's-
my kids keep rubbing on about getting hard drives. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well,
You don't have a hard drive.
No, Dad, we need a hard drive.
You need a hard drive.
for your Xbox.
Yeah.
They've got portable ones now.
Just,
I
just
know
get
that,
it.
yeah.
Just get it like a terabyte USB drive. Bam, you're done.
I can't be asked.
It's $30, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, sure they can't need that much memory. Cordless, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we had to delete some games off ours because it was 98%, and we don't even use half the games.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they fill up real quick.
Yeah, Rocky's very concerned about Forza, about updates for it.
Yeah,
He keeps saying-
it should be.
He's like, Dad, I'm really worried, Dad. That's not going to work. You'll be fine, son. You'll be right.
Until it doesn't work, and then they're going to be
And then you know what I say?
annoying the fuck out of you.
You've got to work it out yourself. This is called real life now. This is a real life problem. You've
Yeah.
got to sort out yourself because I can't do it with your Xbox. I refuse to do it.
You are listening to Power Stance Gamers. And now, this.
Alright, so final thoughts. Blood Bowl.
You got to play it.
I think it should carry a warning on the box. It's seriously addictive. I mean, that's what
It
happened
can
to us.
be, yeah. I
We
love
played
the
League.
simplicity to
Mm.
me. I like simple games where there's a lot of depth in the playing of the game rather than just thousands of special
Rules.
rules,
Not rules, depth,
interactions,
game rule.
and
Yeah,
whatever, all that.
gotcha.
This is chess,
Mm.
but with double ones and whatnot. It's supposed to be fun. You will take it a little serious at some point, and you probably will throw your dice at some point. But it's definitely one of those games I think you have to put on the list as saying, "Yep, I played it."
You haven't lived if you haven't played Blood Bowl.
I think it's one of those games that you're literally going to have to.
I don't
say,
think you can
"I've
call
played
yourself
it."
a tabletop gamer.
Yeah.
Unless you've had a season
It
in
is
Blood Bowl
the
League.
sports game.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to basically
Capture what this
capture
had.
what
Yeah.
this game, and this game was created, I think, would you say 30 plus years ago?
31.
31 years ago, and companies are still trying to get in on it and put a twist on it to sort of replicate what they did 30 plus years ago.
Mm.
You got to try it.
Just when we said we are going to play Blood Bowl for our review games, I got really excited. There was just that little flutter in my heart. It's like,
I'm ready to
oh,
go right now.
shit. Yeah, again?
I seriously,
You can
Every
take that
time-
from his dwarves once again.
every time, I'm going to buy some Knuffle Rocks dice. Apparently,
Yeah,
that's what all the
No,
cool
That's what you
kids
do,
see, they're
yeah.
banned. In our league, they're banned.
That's what all the cool kids do.
No, they're banned.
I could do it.
You could do it.
Because I'll probably get the shits. I no doubt. I'm sure I'll throw a dice. But it's just
Cool.
if we can run it. If you said to me tomorrow, I want to run a mini league, I would put my hand up and say yes.
Yeah, because
I
you've
would
just
put it to me.
spent 90 minutes G'd up about it.
No, like every time we have a discussion and Blood Bowl pops up, I always get excited about it.
Hang on, we tried to start a
I know.
league
I
a
think-
year ago, year
Yeah,
and a half ago.
I could not commit any time to it. Yep. And I did just say a mini league.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we'll think about that.
Yeah.
He says, stroking his chin.
I got him.
Do they still sell Knuffle Rocks dice?
Oh,
On the
fucking
black
bloody-
market,
Did
somewhere
you
they will.
Did you sell them?
No, I just need more.
I'll just jump on eBay. I'm sure there'll be some there.
It'd be like $100.
If they've
Each.
been
That's
they've been
cheap.
sitting in my dice bucket, they've got dice cancer. Like it's contagious. It's,
They'll be right.
Sure,
Okay.
you can get them from China nowadays, anyway.
I'll just get them made up.
Yeah.
Just Chessex.
Hit Chessex up.
All right.
Greg Star.
Final thoughts.
Oh, I said it. It needs a warning sign stamp on the box. It's seriously addictive. That's the problem with me. Like I threw myself into it for the best part of 3 years, and probably now I still burnt out from it. Like it's still.
But it still puts a smile on
Oh,
your
it
face.
does.
The memories of it.
Absolutely.
So,
Like it was as gamers, it was the best time.
yeah.
Because to me, I think the key thing was it was so balanced that it was literally, your strategy against your opponent's strategy and whatever they rocked up on the day.
I'll just put
Loved
in there
it.
strategy and dice.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely an element. There's definitely an element. But what game doesn't have an element of luck or randomness to it?
Yep.
It wouldn't be a game if it didn't have that at the end of the day, or it wouldn't be a tabletop game, I should say.
Maybe you should, if it had a card mechanic.
No, you can still get boned on card flips.
Of
Trust
course
me.
you can.
Jacob,
Look, for me, I really appreciate the balance aspect of it, but that's not what did it for me. It was fun. It's a fun game. And as I said at the start, it doesn't take itself seriously. People can take the game too seriously, and I have done that, and I have thrown dice, and I have had to make myself a Zen garden, as I mentioned. A little miniature Zen garden. But most of my memories, 99% of my memories of Blood Bowl, it's the shiggles, the fun, just the stupid stuff that would happen. And that's what made it for me. So any game that can make me laugh 5 years afterwards is a winner, basically. So yeah, thumbs up for me.
I want to see. Are we giving this? Wait up. Are we dicing?
Yeah, this is a
dice in
review.
this?
We're doing dice.
it's a review.
This is it, isn't
I'm
it?
a fiver. You have to play this game. It is so
It is,
simplistic
yeah.
and easy. There's no setup time. You put your pitch out and you're off, right? You can play this with the kids. The rules are that easy that you don't even need to really change anything to be able to get the kids to play. But if they're of a younger age, it's pretty easy to just simplify
Just do everything
some
on
of
a
the
4-up.
stats for them. Yeah,
Just everything
the,
on
the
a 4.
4-up is the standard one.
Yep. I'm with
It's
you,
a-
man. It's a
you can't
5.
lose on this one.
It's a 5 Knuffle Rocks.
Yeah, is this the game?
I was thinking on the way here.
Oh,
The only reason.
don't.
The only
He's
reason.
got a bonus.
He's gonna go. There's not enough rocks on the bases.
Some of the
on
models
miniatures."
lack movement.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, like the fact that I'm still burnt out from it, how many years ago? Like, is that a negative or is it a positive? I'm not too sure. But the fact that I still can't really take myself to play a game, I'm just like, ooh, is it really that good? The fact that here I am. You could take it either way, couldn't you? You could take it as yes, it was because we smashed it for 3 years.
Can I flip the script on you?
Go
here?
on, yep.
You went to your missus and said, right, this is what this game said to you. This is how much you were involved in this game. You said to her, I have to win this event.
I have to put time in. I have to
I
dedicate
to
time in.
practice and train. And she said, go for it.
All right, so Greg, go back to our
Go for it.
definition of
Go for it.
like our 5 dice. What are we awarding here? 5 dice is you have to go and play this game straight away. If you don't own it, if you haven't got it, go and get it, play it straight away.
Yeah, on that basis, I'd give it a 5 then.
Oh, it's that go.
It's our first 5s all
First
round.
fiver. Yep. I'd agree.
And
with
only a
that.
little bit of peer pressure.
You
mate,
haven't.
let's
You
be
haven't.
honest.
Yeah.
You haven't lived. I reckon if you haven't played a bit of Blood Bowl, I'd say you haven't lived as a gamer, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's such a seminal game in
Well,
so many things.
It created the sports genre of the game.
But again,
really.
particularly the league element. I think.
Yep.
Yep.
Two, like I said, separate games. The league element, it just kicks ass. It's so good.
But even the tournaments.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, tournaments can get a bit of a bad rap, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything negative to say about the tournament scene when we were playing in it, other than headaches
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
for drinking too much.
Shit, yeah.
And thinking and stressing.
No.
Yeah, for me.
Oh, okay. But the players were never rude. There was
No.
no rules with queries.
No.
Everyone got along.
There's no dodginess.
You had a time limit. There's no
There was
pack ups and
when we played, and I'm assuming it's still the same. Like if we're still getting 55 players at Uke Bowl, there was such a strong community as
they
well,
were.
which was amazing.
Yep.
It really was.
For a game that at that point, no love.
Yeah.
No support from GW.
No,
Yeah.
none. This is well before we've just brought out this
And
new
the
edition.
extent of the no support is GW had literally said, "Have the rules."
Yep.
do what you want with the
Yeah,
rules.
we haven't really
To a-
spoken too much about how the LRB6 and all that was even created with the committees and everything else. But
Yeah.
that was essentially fans
Working with Jervis Johnson, the
with
creator,
Jervis,
which was great.
who had the controlling vote.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's somewhat a community
Well,
and G-Dub set of rules.
And there is an NFL president that's voted in each year around the world.
Yep.
There's a whole rules
the NAF,
committee.
yeah.
Well, you got the world,
NAF.
the world
president.
championships.
You've got the World Championship.
Like-
You've got the fact that probably the tournament data is probably still fed back to the NAF, I
Yeah,
imagine,
still is, yep.
to make sure that the game is still, there's no
working.
team that's broken.
Yep.
It's amazing how it's all put together, really.
And it comes down because of the simplicity.
Mm.
So yeah, look, guys, you got to try it. You got to try this game.
Yep. It's 5 around. There's no other... Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
So, that's our Golden Age review. We had to throw back to the Golden Age after last week. We needed to... Because I got a little depressed after our discussion last week, let's be honest.
Did you?
Yeah. I got a bit sad. I thought, oh,
Did you?
maybe we're not living in a Golden Age, and it sort of really hit me. It's like, oh...
Going back to the golden
But
age.
you said we weren't living in a golden age.
Yeah, I know. And that made me sad.
Right.
Yeah. Because I want to live in a Golden Age.
You can
it's just a
live
label.
lie.
It's purely a subjective label.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
at
got to
the
be
end of
true.
the day,
You got to be true to
I'm
yourself.
happy with the miniature. Like when we spoke about it, we all agreed the miniatures are better than ever.
Mm.
The other companies' miniatures are better than ever. Your scenery and your hobby tools are better than ever. Like there's a lot that's really cracking. What's not to like?
It's just a community element, really.
The community is the only bit in a way
It's
that's
lacking.
kind of
Mm.
not centered around anything. But
Yeah.
you know, if your gaming group is centered on a particular system or a game and they're loving it, say they've got their Blood Bowl league, well, think about those guys.
Yeah, they're
Do you know what?
right now in a golden age.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just like
Happy
still
days.
going though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we do it? Should we go to Uke Bowl next year?
I've said,
are you joking
have
me?
I not said
2018
to you-
Uke Bowl?
What month is it in? It's like winter, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
July. She's freezing in Sydney, isn't it? It's like July or something.
Well, you won't have to go for a swim, don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, that's provisionally say yes.
I've said yes, or I've said yes
That
previously.
means practicing though.
No, it doesn't.
Practice what?
Come around,
For me,
smash
it
them.
does.
Come around,
Oh.
smash them homebrew. That's the only practice you need to do.
Christ. You're going to be standing on
Do
the
it.
tables at the Burwood RSL.
Yeah. Go get some $3 schooners. That's the only practice you need.
You don't even
Christ.
need to play all
Or
your
mix,
games.
mix our own vodka Red Bulls at the bar.
Yeah,
I wonder if that bird's still working there.
probably. She was giving me shit about I had my flat hair or something because I was wearing a hat. She
That's-
said I was looking like Ken from fucking Barbie doll.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. And then we said, yeah, he doesn't have a cock. So I remember that now.
Oh, fucking hell.
It all comes flooding back.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Didn't know
Scary.
about that bit.
All right, so let's put a pin in that one for now. But hey, let's explore that idea. And
PSG goes Uke Bowl, baby. For some of the
Fucking
Sydney people
grit-
to catch up with us.
grit your teeth, Burwood. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Humana. I know you want it.
But in the meantime, before we go to Burwood, we still need to hit up the Brendale Brewing Company at about 5 p.m. on the 11th of November. And we'll bring some games. We'll have some beers, little treats here and there for our Patreon backers, if you can come along. If you're not, just come along anyway and sink some fine quality brew with us. And,
Come say hello.
yeah, basically.
We're going to be there anyway.
Large in it.
So, what are we playing?
We're playing Drink the Beer.
Drink.
And if you win that, you get to drink a beer.
And we're going to play on the Xbox? Or PlayStation, was it?
It's an
It's
Xbox.
both.
It was an Xbox.
It's both?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got Madden.
I'm shit at those games, though.
Yeah, but so am I.
Oh, yeah,
Shit.
shits me.
Man, it's
Little fella
FIFA all the way.
pisses me off because you get on Battlefront, the Star
Yeah.
Wars one.
And someone gets shoots you
He
straight
fucking
off.
annihilate. He
Yeah.
just annihilates me. It's really shit.
Yep.
He's fucking not even 9.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
My kid's the same. Don't even bother.
And yeah, we'll have some casual games there too.
Yeah.
Cool.
right.
Alrighty, so you can catch us on iTunes, on Podbean.
Yep.
You can also find us on Facebook. That's where most of the conversation happens. If you love what you do and you want us to keep doing it to this high standard that you've come to expect,
High quality.
please check
High
out
quality podcast made of metal with rocks.
check out our Patreon. Even if you just want to back us $1 a month, hey, every little bit counts and we appreciate it. Can we shout out to Aaron? Can we shout out to Jesse? And can we shout out to Greg Burgess, who has backed us
Burgers!
at the $5 level? Appreciate that, guys. Very much appreciated.
Does Burgers play Blood Bowl?
Oh, not sure.
I don't think I've ever seen him play Blood Bowl.
Do you know what?
He plays every single
I
game.
know,
If he doesn't, we could make him.
We could
he
shame
would
him.
easily.
We'll shame him.
He would get addicted to that easily.
And hope to see you at our event on the 11th of November. Gentlemen, good night.
Good morning.
Thank you for listening to Power Stance Gamers, the #1 place for tabletop banter. You know you love us. See you soon.
It's Eternal and Mixwell on the track once again, killing it. T-Dot to Munchie, we all connection, funk resurrection. Ha.